Well, good Wednesday evening, everybody. Chris Allen with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. All right. More thunderstorms today. Some of those have been some pretty big boomers with the heavy rain, the lightning, the gusty wind. Nothing severe. We had a couple of little flood advisories here and there, but pretty much same thing, different day. Really, nothing much has changed at all, and it's not going to, for that matter. Here is a view outside live here at 7:21 p.m. Central Daylight Time of this Wednesday, July 16th from the Plano Cam. Seeing here just before sunset some high clouds, but we're not seeing thunderstorms around here anyway. Most of those are beginning to die off and will continue to die off as we get past sunset. There may be a few that try to hold together overnight, like they did this morning, and you could wake up tomorrow morning to some showers. But as far as anything being any different than it has for the last several days, no. No, and the only difference that I see in the next few days is that it's going to get hotter. It is going to get hotter. Hotter. I hate that. I don't like hotter. I want it to be cool. I'm ready for fall. I want it to turn cooler and nice and breathable air and all of that. We're going to have to wait a while. Oh, by the way, I need you to stick around for after this podcast because I got something I want to run by you. Okay? Those of you that are the hangers oners, as I like to call them, you're here for the duration of this podcast, no matter how long it goes. And I appreciate that. Sometimes it goes 10 minutes, sometimes it goes 30 or more, depending on the weather. But if you can just hang on until after the weather, I've got something to ask you. Okay? Please, if you would. Those of you that are loyal to 270 weather, I'd appreciate that. All right, let's go to the radar and let's see what's going on. And yeah, most of the activities either north or east of us. And some of those cells that you see are producing, like in previous days, some very heavy rainfall, drenching downpours. Most of these are producing, like up there in, well, let's see here, Springfield, Loretto, New Haven, north of Lebanon, Kentucky, over toward Perryville, Harrodsburg, Nicholasville, Versailles, Kentucky, the home of John Conley and his rose-colored glasses. Yeah, John Conley, he's from Versailles, Kentucky. There's Lexington. You can see pretty good thunderstorm going on there. Lots of lightning also happening. Did you like my John Conley impersonation? I thought you would. Then we go up into Indiana, close to Vincennes and Jasper. Some thunderstorms there. Now, some of these look like it looks like they're trying to move a little southeast. See that? Maybe headed toward Evansville, could then head towards Owensboro. If they hold together, they could affect some of our counties to the north of Bowling Green. But that's a big if because now we're getting, past sunset or will be here shortly. And some of these will probably just kind of fade away. So don't count on if you're wanting rain. Um, it's off to the east. You're going to have to wait now till tomorrow probably to get some kind of rain happening because most of it has already moved away. All right, let's go to the Kentucky Mesonet Network of all the reporting stations around the counties in Kentucky, and you see that we've got a variety of 70s 80s at this hour. Let's see, let's zoom in on the 270, southern and western Kentucky. Let's see what high temperatures were recorded where you live. And here in Bowling Green, 91, 91. But at the airport, as you saw, we had a high temperature today of 94. Ouch. Yeah, 94. Let's see. 92 for Elkton and Todd County. There's a 92 up there in Ohio County. In Hartford, 90 for Litchfield, 91 for Campbellsville. I don't see anything hotter. Well, hotter than the 92. That's as hot as any of these Kentucky Mesonet sensors got today. What about the rain? Well, some of this is from this morning, as you know, about 3 a.m., 3:30. When I get up and get ready to go in to do News 40 Sunrise, I get up at 3, and storms were booming right as I got up. It sounded good. It made me want to stay in bed as the storms were happening. So most of this came this morning, and then a little bit at midday, 66 hundredths of an inch of rain at the Ag Expo sensor, but only a tenth of an inch at the Corvette plant. But at the Bowling Green Airport, in between these two locations, it was a half inch, exactly a half inch of rain. Now, down here in Franklin, look at that, 83 hundredths of an inch of rain, over a half inch there in Elkton, almost a half inch of rain in Tompkinsville, 44 hundredths of an inch of rain in Burkesville, and then you see somewhat lighter amounts around us today. Winds currently are from the south and southwest at around 5 miles per hour or less. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that when it comes to the moisture content, as you know, it's been running high. Dew points have been running in the 70s, but we are about to see, in fact, a couple of places today did reach a dew point of 80. Now, that we've seen before, but it's rare. Look at this up here in McLean County, right at this moment at 7:28 p.m. on this Wednesday evening. Their dew point temperature is at 83. And the temperature is at 85. Well, that gives you almost 100% relative humidity. In other words, the atmosphere is holding all the water it can, and it's eventually going to go somewhere. Okay, it's going to come down. The clouds can only hold this water for so long, and then it has to be released. So when you start to see these mid and even, look at this, upper 70-degree dew points, 78 is the dew point right now at the Ag Expo Center here in Bowling Green. That's extremely high. And we're going to continue to see upper 70 to even low 80-degree dew points in the coming days. And we're going to start to get the corn sweats. You say, no, wait a minute. What's the corn sweats? Those of you that are farmers, you know what I'm talking about. The corn, there's a lot of corn out there, and it's because we've had such a rainy period from February through April, and even now, the corn, the stalks of corn that are out there in all those fields around us actually start to sweat. And by that, I mean there is so much, not just perspiration like we perspirate, but transpiration. In other words, as the moisture content, high moisture content in the corn leaves the corn, leaves the stalk and the leaves, well, it just comes up in the air around it. And it's we call it corn sweats because the corn is sweating. Now, if you think I'm kidding, ask any farmer. They will tell you about the corn sweats. I know you're thinking, no, this is something you've made up, Chris Allen. This is something you make fun of and you made it up and it's a joke. No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And it could even help cause some fog to form late at night and early in the morning from the moisture content from a like a big field of corn, and especially if it's near a body of water. I'm not kidding. So if somebody, Chris Allen was talking about corn sweats. I want some farmer, if you're a farmer or you've heard of this, then comment there in the chat and just, you know, please back me up because it is a real thing. I'm just, I want people to be educated on corn sweats because it's a real thing. And especially with this very, very humid and moisture laden atmosphere, there are corn sweats. Okay. All right. Let's go to the maps. And here we go with the current scene with the showers dissipating. Double barrel high pressure. Really, this is just one area of high pressure, but it's represented here by two symbols, two centers of location or the center of high pressure. Now we've got a front back to the west, but don't look for that front to be in here anytime soon or actually come all the way through. We have these little disturbances, and that's what happened this morning. We had one of these disturbances, a little short wave, come through, and as a result, we didn't need the daytime heating to pop those thunderstorms at 3 o'clock this morning. If there's a disturbance like this or another little wave or a little piece of energy left over from today, tomorrow morning, it could do the same thing. So here we go, 7 a.m. tomorrow, and the map, the graphics, the forecast graphics does show that we could see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms again tomorrow morning about the time you get ready to go to work. Now, on Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, the front comes a little bit closer. High pressure is going to continue to block it, though. And an area of low pressure moves into Missouri and kind of jams everything up. That's going to keep rain and thunderstorms in the forecast. High pressure again holding things back tomorrow evening, keeping showers here. Did you notice a change there for Friday? No, I didn't either. Maybe just a little movement, but not much. That high pressure staying there, and the cold front is staying there. There's just very little movement. Now we get into Friday night, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms still around. Saturday, that's the same front. It's just kind of laying across northern Kentucky and stalling. Notice the high hasn't moved much at all. It's still going to be around Saturday. There's Saturday morning. Here's Sunday morning. It's still around. You just can't see it. And so showers and storms will continue. Here's Monday. There it is. See, it came back. It moved from about Johnson City, Tennessee to almost Chattanooga. That's how far it moved in a 24-hour period. This is Sunday into Monday. Now here's Monday into Tuesday and then into Wednesday. Do you see any change? No. If anything, even with some of this shower activity in the forecast, it is going to get hot. You may be saying it's hot already, but it's going to get hotter. I'm thinking the middle of next week could actually be the hottest period of 2025 for the 270 and for much of this region. The hottest. And it could be when we hit 100. We haven't hit 100 since August 29th of last year. Yeah, I believe that's when it happened. It was late August last year. We hit 100. We have not hit 100 since then. But I think that the middle of next week, it's very, very possible. Even with the rain in the forecast. Well, let's see what the blender shows, okay? Now, this is the way it looked yesterday. Remember, low 90s and then all of a sudden mid and upper 90s? Let's check it now. Here it comes. Well, yeah, pretty much the same. Low 90s for the rest of this week into the weekend, and then pretty much all of next week. Mid 90s, maybe even some upper 90s. So it's coming. It's getting there closer to 100. I know. I hear you, Snickerdoodle. Ugh. It is ugh. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Eddie Fisher. The Eddie Fisher? The actor? Debbie Reynolds? Eddie Fisher? Oh, okay. Different Eddie Fisher. I bet you don't get that, do you, Eddie Fisher? You've never heard that before, have you? So Eddie Fisher says corn sweat is real. Yes, it is. Oh, here's another one. Steve McElfresh. Corn sweat is very real. See? Those of you that doubted me, you should never doubt me. Never, ever doubt me. I'm 100% right 100% of the time. You know that ain't true. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Low 90s the next few days, maybe mid 90s again tomorrow, like today. Then with the better rain chances, you have to bring down the temperature a few degrees. So that's why Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the temperatures are slightly cooler because there will be more clouds and more rain, therefore, just slightly cooler. But then look what happens Tuesday, Wednesday next week, 95, 96, and it could even go higher. All right. So I told you to hang on. Hang on, because I've got something I need to talk to you about and ask you about here in just a moment, right after these messages or this message from R&R Controls. Hey, I got to get my sponsor in here. Without R&R Controls, this might not be here. So I think the Conleys, who run R&R Controls, and what they call their family, they've got a whole crew of people they call their family. And it really is a family atmosphere. And they are the kind of family that wants to serve your family, whether it's heating, cooling, ventilation, business automation, or these Generac generators. That's only touching a small part of what R&R Controls does. I know we push the generators, but it's, because we've had so many storms and power outages and things like that. Barry Connolly and I have talked about, we'll talk some about the generators, but we're about to talk here in the coming weeks about a lot more than just generators that R&R Controls can take care of for you in your home and if you own a business. And if you need financing, they can work with you on that. So if you're in need of keeping the lights on, keeping your business going, it doesn't matter. Or if you just, it's so hot, your current air conditioning unit is just not doing the job. Call R&R Controls. You know the number by now, 270-777-2024. Again, that's 270-777-2024. R&R Controls, never be without. Now, here we go. So as you know, and I've told you here a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago that things are about to change with this 270 weather. All this behind me, which is my current location, the room that's in my home, where I do this podcast. And in other parts of my home, and you can't see even in this room, I've got all kinds of electronic equipment, stereos, radios, turntables, speakers. It's just a hobby of mine. And I'm having to put a lot of that in storage because this is all going to go away. We're moving to another part of town, and I'll have a whole new setup, and it's going to be great because this is giving us a chance to expand and to make this something much bigger, much better. So, what I want to do is, while I've got you here in the chat room, those of you that get on here and you comment, which I love, thank you for doing that. Keep doing it. I need to ask you this, a couple of things. First of all, are you getting what you want out of this podcast? And I need you to be honest with me. There are a lot of weather podcasts out there. There's even a lot of them around here that are out there on social media. And they all focus on this area. I just happened to call mine 270 weather because no one else called it that. And I thought, that's a pretty good name. 270 weather. I didn't want to be so selfish as to call it Chris Allen's weather. Enough of Chris Allen. Okay? We hear about Chris Allen all the time. I hear so much about Chris Allen, I think he's somebody else and not me. And I'm like, I'm tired of listening to Chris Allen. I'm tired of him. He's everywhere. He's on the TV. He's on the podcast. He was on the radio. I get tired of hearing. But seriously, is this podcast, 270 weather, don't worry about, I don't want any yes answers necessarily. I want you to be honest. Are you getting what you need as far as weather information from this podcast? Just answer in the chat, in the comments. And if you're not, then I want you to tell me what's missing. Because anybody can get on here, as some do, and they can just say anything and just, well, here's this and here's that, and some of them try to be, extra scientific and brainy, and I just try to keep it simple, and I want to keep it fun, and I want to joke around. When it's serious, though, you know me, I'll get serious when we're supposed to get serious. When the weather is dangerous, I get serious. And I'll get serious at 2:00 in the morning if that means you're looking for that information and you're just looking for somebody you trust to tell you what's going on. I hope that's going to be me. If it's not me, I hope it's somebody, because we're talking about your life. We're talking about when it's dangerous, when there's severe weather. I want you to be informed. If it's not me, then let it be somebody else. But please get the information from someone. Now, if you could change anything at all, or if there's something about this podcast that you watch and you say, you come away and you go, I wish he would have said this. I wish he would tell me this. What would this be? What would it be? Very simple question. Maybe you've thought about it, you've watched, and you go, he gives me all this good information and it's great, but I wish he would tell me about this. Is it some other thing happening in another part of the country? Is it maybe doing a subscription service where I send you an everyday email with the forecast on it? See, the thing I don't want to do is to duplicate too much of what I'm doing on television. TV has its place, and what I do on News 40 has its place. But this is an extra thing. This is another thing, another element in which I have all the time that I want to speak to you. On television, I have at the most 3 minutes in the mornings. I mean, yes, I do talk to you several times during that hour, 6 to 7. But at any one time, at the most, I get 3 minutes. Most of the time, it's less than that. Here, see, like right now, I'm at 28 minutes. It's my podcast. I can go I could go for hours. If you were watching, I could. But what is that thing? What is that one thing where you say, golly, Chris, sometimes I just wish you would talk about this. What would it be? Put it down in the comments, good or bad. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. My feelings don't get hurt that easily. But anyway, just put it in there. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure that because I'm in the process. This is evolving. This is evolving into something bigger, into something greater. I can't divulge all of it right now, but it's happening. And with this move, it is going to be the perfect opportunity to reset, reevaluate, and go to the next level. So you guys tell me what it is you need. What do you need to hear from me? And I'll look at it. I'm going to look at every comment, and I'm going to write it all down, and in my planning, and we'll see what happens with that. Okay. So that's it. It's nothing bad. I hope you weren't thinking that I was going to say something awful. But no, this is here to stay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going on the TV side as well. So the two work hand in hand together, TV, podcast. And since more and more people are going podcast and social media, then this is just an extension of what I do on television. Now that we have this tool, let's use it. That's what I say. Okay. Interesting here. One of the comments, Norm Poppy and Kathy Poppy, does it have to be about weather? It doesn't. Is there another subject you'd like me to talk about? That could really make this very long. Do the weather for 15, 20 minutes or so, and then another 15, 20, 30 minutes about something else. Well, I mean, I guess somebody would watch it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm looking at your comments. Okay. Here's Steph Keller. I think it's hard to follow every single front. You have always done a great job. Well, thank you. Yeah, it is. It is difficult sometimes to follow every single thing that goes on. But if there's something that you feel like you're missing when you watch this, but then you're like, well, I know so and so's podcast is going to tell me that. And then you go watch their, I don't want you watching theirs. I'm going to be stingy. I want you to watch mine. Okay. All right. Enough said. I've gone 32 minutes. You see what you guys do? You make me just talk and talk and talk. And I need to go to bed. It's almost 7:51. It's almost my bedtime because I got to get up at 3. You know, I love you. I love all of you. You guys keep me going, and I appreciate it. Thank you for watching 270 Weather as always. Have a great evening, and I hope that you'll tune in tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to News 40 Sunrise, and I'll see you there. God bless.